Hey there, everyone. This is Bryn Kowalski. I am one of the writing mentors with the Writer Studio. And today I just want to do an overview of Canvas and basically how to navigate it. Canvas is a wonderful educational platform, and it's structured pretty easily once you get the hang of it, and it's pretty user-friendly. But if you're not familiar with it, or if you're not experienced with a lot of educational platforms, it can be confusing because there is a lot of information spread across its different aspects. So first off, I wanted to take a look at the dashboard. The dashboard is basically your main page for Canvas, and it's your at-a-glance look at all of your classes and basically the different aspects of your courses. So all of your published courses are going to appear as tiles here on your dashboard. I personally like to have mine all up at the top, but generally speaking, new courses will appear down here at the bottom. The nice thing with the dashboard tiles is that you can click and drag them, and so you can reorganize them as you please. So if you have a certain setting or a certain organization that you prefer, you're free to do that. Again, I like to be able to see all of my classes at a glance, and so I have this English 102 course that I'm TAing for, as well as the 2 French courses that I just finished the previous semester. And I also like to color them bright colors, so that way I can kind of differentiate them a little easier. So you can see here I chose like a nice bright pink. This was an image my professor used, and then this is like a pretty teal. So it's just a nice eye-catching way to be able to see the courses that you need to pay attention to right off the bat. Then also down here on these tiles, you'll see a little megaphone and a little message symbol. These are your announcements and your discussion boards respectively. And so here you can see I have 3 unread announcements in my French 312 course, as well as no new discussion board announcements. So this is again a nice way to see if you have any waiting announcements that you need to read or click on, as well as the same little red blip will appear for your discussion boards as well. Moving over here, you'll have your to-do list. This is again a really nice at-a-glance way to see what's coming up, what's due, like usually within the next couple of days, 3 to 5 days, I would say is about its limit. Again, I am a writing mentor, so I have a lot more things showing up on my automated to-do list than you do, I am sure. But then this is a nice way to again see, oh, I have an assignment coming up, or oh, wait, I've already done this. I can click and get rid of it, and things like that. So it's a nice way to just see what's coming up without needing to actually click on your individual courses. Down here is much the same, but it's structured a little further out, and it's known as coming up. So this is a way to see what's coming up a little further out. So you can see it's marked for within the next week. And it also has a hyperlink to your calendar, which we'll touch on here in a few moments. Then you also have your recent feedback. So again, I just went and finished up a couple classes in French. So you'll see my feedback is all on my French coursework. You're also able to see your grades on that, and then you have a hyperlink to your grade button as well. So that's just like a quick overview of the dashboard itself. Now we're going to go and look at the thread. Now the thread is located on the left-hand side of your screen here, and it is essentially the icons that allow you to navigate the whole of Canvas. First, we're going to go and look at account. So account is just, as you can see, a really light overview. Here's my name, a little logout button, as well as notification, file, settings, and a QR for mobile login. Now, this is getting into a little bit more of the nitty-gritty work with Canvas that I don't necessarily utilize too often myself, but if you're somebody who likes messing with your notification structure, choosing files, things like that, this can be interesting. So these are just your notification preferences, ways to notify you right away, daily summaries, how often you want to be sent push notifications, email notifications on the different aspects. This is a nice way where, for example, I can see basically everything that several professors send me. So this way I'm able to kind of curate it so that way my inbox is not overloaded every morning. Files is essentially like your uploaded JPEGs, files that you submit for assignments and things like that, as well as files embedded in the courses themselves. So if professors use JPEGs or PNG files, things like that. Your settings is, again, more of the nitty-gritty things. You're able to see like the full name, your display name, different web services, and things like that. So moving on from that, you see here is your dashboard, so that will take us back to the home screen. But next I want to move on to courses. Courses is a pop-up page that you can see here that it's a quicker at-a-glance look at the published courses that you are in, as well as your past ones. This helps to where if you want to navigate without having to go back to your dashboard and click on the tiles, and see other past courseworks that you were a part of. Unfortunately, it does not show as organized as the dashboard itself, so that can be a little tricky if you're trying to find something specific if you have a lot of courses, but it's pretty easy to navigate. And if you want to see all your courses, you just click on this little button down here called All Courses, and it will show all of your courses. It will also show the nickname for them because you're able to curate the different nicknames for them as they appear in your dashboard. I like to mark them as done when I finish TAing for them, so that way I can easily tell which one I'm clicking on. Or if you're taking a lot of like English courses, a lot of French courses that you're seeing a lot of ENG and then like, a couple of different numbers, or, for me, I had French 311 and French 312 back to back, so one letter off can be very confusing. It also shows what you're enrolled as and then if it was published. So professors will sometimes remove the publication of the class once they're done with it. I had a French professor who preferred to work pen and paper, but with the outbreak of COVID, he had to switch over to Canvas with the rest of ASU. So once the class concluded, he went and unpublished the work from my dashboard. And this is just a nice way to see if you're not sure like what term you took a class in or what you were enrolled as in, then this is just a way to kind of look at that. This is groups. Now groups is going to be a little bit more subjective depending on your courses. These are all groups from my French courses and then two from my internship courses. You are not always going to be assigned to a group. That is more based on the professor and what their teaching structure is, but this is a short way to get a hold of that. Groups are going to be basically online groups in which you're all assigned as a single unit, usually for assignments that you would be posting one submission for an entire group. So moving on, we're going to be looking at calendar. Calendar is pretty self-explanatory. It's, again, a calendar view of all your upcoming and past assignments and different things to look at. You can have it as different views as week, month, or your agenda, as well as looking at today. I personally prefer to see it as a month because I'm one of those people that I like to kind of see what's coming up over the next couple of days, next 2 weeks. Because again, I am a TA, not a lot of things will pop up the same way it does for me as it will for you as a student. But you can see over here I have umpteen different colors. You can see where I had, like, again, a pretty teal for my 311, kind of an ecru for my 305 for my French courses, and then like a nice dark gray for my internship course. Also, some classes won't show up as a calendar just because the professor doesn't organize things that way. And I believe you can also make your own calendar entries with this plus button up here. So if you want to kind of create your own structure, you're free to do so. And so then moving on from that, we're going to be looking at the inbox. Much like the calendar, the inbox is pretty self-explanatory. This is Canvas's feature where you're able to create new messages and send them. This is how your inbox will show up. And to create a new message, you just go up to here, click on this button, and then this can be a little confusing simply for the fact that the English 102 course is structured into sections. So you go to favorite courses here, and then you can find here, again, I'm sure you will have a lot less courses than I have, but you scroll down to your English course, and now you have the to option. If you know the person's name, you can just type it in. You can also send it to multiple people, but if not, you can just click on the little address book here, go to course sections, and then, for example, I mentor for section 3. I click on that, and then you can see I can message the professor, I can message myself as a teaching assistant, I can message the students, and then you can just click on that and it will drop down the different people's names, or you can message everybody in that one section. Outline your subject, and then if you're messaging multiple people, you can also send an individual message to each recipient so that it doesn't create a message chain. But I usually end up conversing in groups, and so I won't click that button, and then I'm able to create a message chain that everybody can see within a particular group. You can also attach different files or embed media or audio. And then you can also, of course, filter it differently with your different courses, concluded, groups, as well as look at your inbox, your unread, your starred, your sent, your archived, and your submission comments. The comments I am not wholly familiar with. It is not something I have dealt with as a student nor as a mentor, and my email has not been paired with it yet. But I can say that the help button here is very useful for finding different resources. If you need to chat with somebody, there's different tutoring resources, as well as now they have different COVID-19 Canvas resources as well to help with people who have to shift over here because of the pandemic.